What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I am feeling very crafty today, so what we're going to be doing is putting some lights in our rear reflectors. That sounds interesting to you? Let's hop into it. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day. If you're new around here, my name's Brandon and this is Stratty's World. What we're going to be doing today is, like I said, putting some lights in our rear reflectors. So what we have here is the Dial Dynamic Flush Mount Kit. I took advantage of their Labor Day sale. I got like 15% off my entire order. And I was supposed to get a free shirt. Well, I cracked the box open and let me tell you, there ain't no free shirt in here. Why are you hitting me with some false advertisement like that? It showed on your website you were giving away free t-shirts, okay? I didn't get my free t-shirt, all right? Anyway, guys, like I said, I ordered a flush mount kit that we are going to be putting in our rear reflectors. So it came with the wire harness, the lights right here. Let's crack these open for you. So nice. Ever since installing the fog light kit, man, Dial Dynamics has been my new favorite. Let's check these out. So like I said, I bought flush mounts. So the whole concept is what we're going to be doing is taking our rear reflector, putting these in here, and letting them chill like that for the most part. So we got those. We have our little template and kit. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so here we are. So we're going to be removing our reflectors right here. I'm not 100% sure how to do that, so we're going to struggle through this together. There are 3 tabs right here that I think we're going to go ahead and try and pull out first and see what we get. Let's try that. Alright, guys, so with those 3 tabs pulled out, it looks like we don't really have like the most access in the world, but we have enough to where we can pull the weather liner out and kind of have a little bit of access to back here. So let's see what we got back here. So it looks like there's another pop tab right underneath here with the actual reflector itself. So let me see if I can pop this out, see if this does anything. Okay. Still doesn't look like that did much of anything, but we have some movement. Oh, hold on. Okay. So to remove the actual reflector itself, it had one pop rivet underneath here that was up underneath here. So the 3 pop rivets, and then this one was actually holding in the pop rivet. Looks like it was held in by 2 clips. So that's what you heard pop out. And that's it. That's how you remove the reflector. So you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, so here we are. We got both reflectors out. I took off the overlay. Now we're left with this. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure how we're going to do this. Oh, it's funny. There's actually a port right here and a little outline of a specific bulb that can actually go in here, which is kind of cool. So I think at one point, or if you wanted to, you could actually stick a bulb in here, wire it up, and actually light this thing up. Subaru, you fell apart again, man. Why isn't that a real thing? Why did you give us the option to do it? Why didn't you just do it for us? Come on, fam. Okay, yeah. So there's a hole right here, guys, that I think I'm gonna go ahead and drill out. I think that's where we're gonna stick our lead wire through. Obviously, this is where our flush mount light's gonna go. So right now, what I think I'm gonna do is pull out one of the outlines. So we're just going to use one of these rubber outlines and just mock up where we kind of want it. I think I'm kind of wanting it. I'm really OCD, so I got to get it just right. So I'm thinking like maybe right there, possibly. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and just mark off what we have. Okay, I know you probably can't see that. To be honest with you, I can barely see that. But in the right light, I could probably see it just fine. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that for both. How I think we're gonna attack this is, I'm gonna start from the back. I'm gonna take a center punch hole and start from this back port and just start drilling out, and we're gonna see what's on the inside. That way I'm not getting in a little over my head. Let's just see what's on the inside and just go from there. So after drilling that out, came to find out that there is absolutely nothing in here but a hollow shell. I know you probably can't see inside there, it's probably too dark, but there's nothing in there. It's literally just a hollow shell. So now that we know that there's nothing in there, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my Dremel and start cutting out this outline, take this off, and then we'll go from there, and we'll just take this step by step. So let's do that right now. All right, guys, so here's just a quick little mock-up I just got finished drilling out. Just obviously it's not perfect. I just wanted to get a general look at what we're looking at. So as you can, oh, it's awkward. So as you can see, it's got two chambers in here. I'm not 100% sure what that's about, but obviously we're gonna have to cut this out as well. Yeah, we're gonna have to go from there. So that's the inside look, inside your reflector. So we got some work to do still, so let's get back to work. All right, guys, so here is what we are left with. Now I know I have some explaining to do. As you can see here, I had to tear the entire thing up for this light to fit in there. Man, it was a pain in the butt. I've been at this drilling for like at least a few hours, just putting the camera down, trying to figure out how to do this, because there was no instructions for this, guys. I just completely free-handed this. I got lost at points. I had no idea what I was doing, to be completely honest with you, but I think I got it figured out. So I wanted to keep the whole structural integrity of the reflector by keeping these pins in. Now, on this one, I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard. I went around everything to make sure that this thing slid in there, but unfortunately, I had to take off this last pin that was right there. So we're only left with this one pin and the push clip pin. So I think as far as it being put back together, I think it'll be good. It shouldn't have any wobbling. It should be, you know, it's got one clip and one push clip that'll snap into place. So it should be okay without one. Essentially what I did was I had to hollow out. So when I opened it up, when I got this face cut out, I saw that there was like this panel separating these two portions, right? Now, why it was there, I'm not 100% sure, but it was there and I had to deal with it. So I had to end up cutting all this out. I cut off the first panel, light still wouldn't go through, so I had to end up cutting out the very back of it. As you can see here, I cut out the entire back of it for the light to go completely through. And now as you can see here, I put the light through, all flush perfectly, right? So that's what we're kind of left with now. So guys, it took me forever to do, but oh my goodness, this is what you're left with, okay? So now that I have kind of like a baseline of how I'm gonna do this, I can go ahead and start on this one, and this one shouldn't take me as long as this one did. So I'm gonna get these both cut out, and I'll see you guys after that. All right, guys, and there we have it. I have them both cut out. Again, this one, after getting my whole bearings together, this one took me 10 minutes to do, where this one took me 3 hours to figure out how to do. So guys, with that said, now that we have them both cut out, they both fit perfectly, as you can see here, nice and flush, right? So my only thing now is this hole that I drilled out earlier, that's where I'm gonna run the wires. Now, someone's gonna say, oh, why don't you just run it right here? Because to be honest with you, now that this is kind of exposed, I noticed when you're underneath there, water can, I think, get up underneath that little flap right there. So we could have water here. So what I think I'm gonna do is run the wire here, the connector here, and maybe duct tape this or find some kind of something to cover this up, being that it's all exposed now. I don't know. We're going to figure that out. Now, guys, this part's optional. I'm going to go ahead and take these two and paint them black. Now, you can leave them how it is, and then we can go into the wiring. That part is up to you, but I'm going to spray paint them black, and I will show you guys the end result after that. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. So here we are. We are back from painting. I have them all completely blacked out. Now, the next step is to install our flush mount lights themselves. Okay, so now that we got the holes drilled out, and you want to be kind of careful on this one. I know you probably can't see it. I was drilling and it actually cracked this piece right here, so I kind of figured that was going to happen, but it is what it is. Since it's black, you can't really see it anyway, so it's all good. You're going to drill out your holes, and we should be able to start putting our screws through. Now what I'm doing here now, guys, is just putting in the screws just to make sure I drilled them out properly. And I already found another problem that we're going to run into. I'll show you in just a second after I finish this. All right, guys, so I got all the screws put in place. Now on to the problem that I was telling you guys that I found. Now, because of the way I have it cut out, there's really no way for me to get my fingers down in here to get the nuts and the washers on there to hold it, actually like tighten it down and hold it in place. So obviously that's a problem. Well, actually, so this side that I cut out right here, I could probably put the washers in there and get creative with the tools and tighten it down. But as far as this side, because we need to keep this one intact, I can't cut out any more over here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have to do here. I can't fit my fingers at all on this side to put some nuts and washers on here. Here, I could probably finagle something and get it going. But, yeah, that's kind of the problem I'm coming across right now. Let me try and work my magic on this side, see if I can get the screws and nuts in there. I'll come back to you in a second. All right, guys, we are back again. I went off camera again because I was trying to figure out how to do this. So, I only ended up screwing in 2 screws. It's all I could really work with. It's solid. It's really all you need. I had to come back in here and drill away more and more and more. To get the other 2 screws, I just said, nah, I can't do it. I couldn't drill out this screw simply because it would have got rid of this clip that we need when we plug it back in. So I just said, screw it. We'll just go with 2. It's solid. It's in place. It's not going anywhere. So I went ahead, did them both. Now they're all good. Now what we can do is finally start wiring. So let's hop back over the car, put these back in, and then we'll start wiring. But first, before we do that, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, we need to address the back. So what I'm gonna do is just take some duct tape, tape it off just to protect it, and we'll go from there. All right, good enough. So now let's go ahead and install. Okay guys, so upon trying to push it back in, there's a little point right here. So this thing is supposed to be completely flush. The light, the pod itself sticks out, you know, goes straight back. So there's a little hill right here, as you can see, a little hill. So it's not flush, obviously. It's got a little point right here. That one little point is coming in contact with this plastic piece right here. So I'm just gonna Dremel it down a little bit, and it should slip right back in place. This is a tedious mod. You can see, guys, so just right here, it was coming in contact right here. So I just, like I said, I just Dremeled out a little hole right there. So now it should slip right back in place. All right, guys, so let me just do a quick little close-up for you. Now, as we talked about, when we had to cut off that clip, one of the clips, as you can see, it doesn't sit completely flush like it used to. There's a little gap now, but it honestly, it's not that bad. From far away, you can't really tell. It's probably something only I'm gonna ever notice, but it's supposed to be like this. Now it's like that. It is what it is. I like it. It's looking good so far, so let's keep it going. I'm gonna assume if you're watching this video, you have some kind of knowledge as to wiring. If not, here you go. This is basically the gist of it. We have 2 plugs that go into both lights. Everything goes straight to the switch, as you can see indicated. This hot goes to your positive side of your battery. This goes to the negative. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, before we proceed, I just want to let you guys know that this, as I just explained, I'm basically just wiring the lights up to a switch. That way I have the power to turn them off and on. You can if you really wanted to, which I know a lot of people do, a lot of trucks do. They wire them straight to the reverse lights and just have them as auxiliary backup lights. That way you can see when you're backing up. My tint's extremely dark, but I don't really have a problem with it. If I really had a problem with it, I can just turn the switch on and just turn it back off. Basically, I just want them as auxiliary lights. That way if like I'm out in a really dark area, I'm at a campsite and I back up, you know, in the trunk, I can turn the lights on, have, you know, light up the footwell, light up everything. So let's get into wiring. I hate wiring, by the way, so this is gonna be painful, but let's do it. Okay, guys. So upon my test fit of the wiring harness, it was a universal wiring harness that I ordered from Dial Dynamics. It didn't actually come with this flush mount kit. Turns out it's not long enough, so we're gonna have to run our own wires to the switch that they provided, which I could use from that kit. From here, I took off the reflectors again, stuck the pigtails in that came with the original kit, plugged it up here, and then I started taping it all off. So now it looks like a lot cleaner. It's a cleaner look. So now we have our hot and our ground. We just lead them straight to the front of the vehicle, and yeah. So we'll knock that on this one, plug them back up again, and then we will officially get wiring, I promise. We're getting wiring now. All right, guys, so I found a good stopping point for right now so I can show you guys what I've been up to. Now, as you can see here, this is my hot and my ground. I have them just prepped and ready to go. All I have to do is put them on the fuse block when I get to that point. So running the wires, so what I did was I took down the fender liner, as you can see here. It was just held in by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was held in by 7 clips, and that gives me access to everything back here. And so as you can see, most of my wiring is back up in here. Now where I ran the wires, I'm gonna show you, is back in this little corner right here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that right there? Right there, let me get the focus. Now that hole right there, guys, is where I've ran my hot and my ground to the switch to get into the inside of the cabin. So I'll show you the inside. So you can run your wires underneath there, or there's actually a spot right here. If you can see, I got like 3 wires right there. There's a little hole right there that you can access to get into the cabin also. Okay guys, so here we are in the footwell. This is where I have all my switches right now. Stay tuned, because I have a video coming out real soon where we're gonna take all my light switches right here and move them up here. I found some pretty nice little switches, so stay tuned for that video. So let me show you where most of my wiring is coming from. Now coming down underneath into the footwell, right here, if you can see that. So right there is where I ran all the wires from the fender liner that I just showed you. It comes straight out right there. I just took a metal hanger, stuck the wires through with it, and pulled them straight through. So go ahead and do that, and then you just wire them up to the switch right here. Okay guys, so back into the fender. As you can see, like I said, you ran the wires through there. I ran them straight down, back behind the fender liner, of course, all the way down past the mud flap. So right there is the bottom of the fender liner. Pulled the wires through. As you can see, I have another wire that's already previously coming out from there. But this is the taped up wires that I have that I just ran. You can see them a little bit better now, hopefully, maybe. They came straight out through here. I'm running them all the way to the back. So I have them run all the way back up in here. Now right here is a little lip where you can actually finagle and stick your wires through. So that's what I did. I ran it all the way through here, all the way out to here, and this is where I'm at. So what I have to do now is just get 2 hots, 2 grounds, run them back to the lights, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna go back off camera and I'll show you guys the finished product when I finish it. All right guys, so I finished the back end part of the wiring. As you can see, the lights are still over there. I'm not completely finished, but let me show you guys how I routed and plumbed the rest of the wiring. Where we left off was we had our lead wires hanging right here. I got them all connected up, soldered up, and taped up and everything. So now I have them all hidden away just a little bit. As you can see kind of here maybe, this is where all my major connections were. Can't really see it from the side. As you can see, it's pretty hidden, just underneath. So I have them all, as you can see, wired up, plumbed back there, up underneath that OEM mud flap right there in the front. and back up underneath the fender liner. I'll show you right now. So just like before, on the front that I showed you guys, there's 7 pop clips for the rear, and we have the wiring coming straight out there. There's a little hole down there. Take your hanger, fish your wires through, pull them out here. So I have everything ran up here, up around here, down towards the back, as you can see back behind this little plastic plating right there, and then came straight out the back. Now this is the driver's side one. As you see, I just have the wires right here ready to go. All we need to do now is just connect the hot to the hot, black to black, obviously, and then we can put it all back together. So let me show you the other side. All right, guys, so up underneath, as you can see back up here, if I can get my camera back in here. So right here is that plastic plating that I showed you where I ran the wires. So they run both out the back right here. This one stops here. For that one, obviously, I have the furthest one, the passenger side one, going all up here. As you can see, I just have it duct taped up away from the muffler as much as possible. It's gonna get hot down here, so I hope the duct tape will hold up, but just in case it doesn't, I'll deal with that when the time comes. So I have it ran all the way back up in here. Now there is a hole, just an exposed hole for some reason up here. It's just a random hole. So I just ran the wires up through that hole, out through where it's gonna connect to the other pod. So I just ran it up there just to help it from further hanging down closer to the tip. So yeah, and that's what we got. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna hook these 2 pods up, then we're gonna move to the front. I'm gonna hook up my hot and my ground to the fuse block, and that's pretty much it. That's the install completed. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out real quick, and then we'll show you guys the final results. All right, guys, so we're back up to the front here. I completed everything. I did my ops check. Everything works, and oh my goodness, it looks so good. It's amazing. I've had a few questions about it. This is a fuse block. For anyone that doesn't know, for wiring purposes, you route everything to this one housing and then wire that one lead. The positive lead goes straight to your battery. The negative goes to the negative side of the battery. Now what this is for is basically to help alleviate the pressure off your battery. I learned the hard way on my FJ. I had 8 accessory wires running to my positive line, and yeah, as you can imagine, I had some problems with starting and just overall vehicle functioning problems because of all those accessories wired up specifically to this positive post. So fuse block is a good investment. I'll leave the link to this one. I think it was like 25, 30 bucks. I've had it for a really long time now, but if you have a lot of mods and accessories, highly recommend getting you one of these. It will save you in the long run. So with that said, I'm gonna conclude right here, guys. I'm gonna show you guys some end clips of the lighting and everything. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.